Hello everyone, welcome back to Chapter 1 channel. Today I'm going to talk about a movie named Secretly, Greatly. Spoilers ahead and I hope that you enjoy. The movie focuses on the 5,446 Corps, a group of spies who have been trained by North Korean special forces since they were young with the goal of bringing Korea back together. Following their training, they are dispatched to South Korea, where they wait for orders from their superiors while blending in and going undercover. One of these sleeper agents is Wan Ryuhan, a ruthless martial arts expert in reality, but in South Korea, he poses as Donggo, a bumbling village fool in a small town. For over 2 years, he has been secretly monitoring the locals for North Korea, enduring constant harassment from the town's mischievous kids. To maintain his cover, he works for an elderly woman named Jen Sunim at her convenience store and lives with her and her son, Cho Duo-sunk. Over time, he develops feelings for a local girl named Yoon Yuran, though her high school brother, Yoon Yoo-jun, often mistreats him and keeps him under control. Another newcomer to the community is Ron, a female who moved here 3 months ago and has a reputation for dressing provocatively. Despite his best attempts, Wan is frequently sidetracked by her. Sue, a local acquaintance of his, has been working underground for more than 16 years. Wan feels that Sue's suggestion to acquire a hobby to kill time is insulting to his mission. One day, another elite spy named Erang, who is pretending to be an aspiring rock star, is sent to the same town, much to Wan's frustration. He starts to worry that his superiors might be doubting his abilities as a spy. Erang moves into the same building as Ron, and Wan soon becomes familiar with him. One night, a young boy knocks on Wan's door, asking for help to find his missing brother, who disappeared after stepping outside to use the bathroom. Wan springs into action, using his skills to quickly locate the boy at Mr. Park's house. After overhearing their conversation, Wan realizes that Mr. Park has a crush on the boy's mother and that the boy followed him, hoping to get some cookies. When others arrive at Mr. Park's house looking for the boy, they mistakenly think Wan, who is still in disguise, kidnapped him. This forces Wan to flee, with Mr. Park becoming the unexpected hero who rescued the boy from the supposed kidnapper. The action then moves to a covert safe house where South Korean officials, including Seo Soo-hyuk, the chief of the National Intelligence Service, are meeting with Lee Kwon, the former director of North Korea's Ministry of People's Armed Forces. They are talking about a series of killings that have taken place in South Korea involving North Korean defectors. Lee Kwon tells the officials about Kim Jong-il and Lee Moo-hyuk, who founded the covert organization 16 years prior, and expresses his conviction that Unit 5446 is to blame for the murder. Following Kim Jong-il's passing, Lee took over the unit as his personal squad. At Wan's home, Sue arrives unexpectedly and confesses that his family was caught trying to flee to China. He's been ordered to return to North Korea and asks Wan for a pistol so he can end his life with dignity. The scene then shifts to a sniper taking aim, appearing to target Sue. However, the shot hits Lee Kwon, who collapses. Chief Seo is convinced Unit 5446 is behind this and requests permission to assemble a team to address the situation, but his boss refuses for political reasons. Meanwhile, Wan denies Sue's request, urging him to stay loyal to North Korea until the end, as it's the only way to possibly save his family from execution. Though Wan seems indifferent, Sue's predicament makes him miss his own mother, and he writes yet another letter to her. It's revealed that Wan has written many letters to his mother, but he's unable to send them and keeps them hidden in his room. That night, a young boy sneaks into Wan's room and holds him at gunpoint. Without the boy saying a word, Wan immediately recognizes him as part of the elite North Korean unit and demands that he state his rank. Startled, the boy addresses Wan as captain and reminds him of his duty to North Korea before fleeing. Wan chases after him, leading to a tense parkour-style pursuit, but the young spy manages to escape. Then, a drunken Ron finds Wan and makes him sit with her in the park. While inebriated, Ron sobs as she reveals that she gave birth to a boy at the age of 18, but she hasn't seen him since her parents sent him to be adopted in the United States. After crying uncontrollably and dozing off, Wan brings her home. He later recognizes the enigmatic young agent surveilling him from afar as Hae-jin, a youngster he personally trained in Unit 5446. Hae-jin flees in panic upon realizing he has been identified. The next day, Wan formally meets Hae-jin when Yoon Yoo-jun introduces him as his new high school friend. Wan starts to wonder why 2 new spies were sent to this small town. His suspicions grow when he notices that someone else has replaced Sue as the local delivery man. That evening, Wan confronts Hae-jin, who admits that he sent Sue back to North Korea because Sue's suicidal behavior was endangering other sleeper agents. Before Wan can question him further about his mission, they hear someone approaching and hide. It turns out to be Yoon Yeon and her drunk boss, who is harassing her. Wan tells Hae-jin to help her, but Hae-jin argues that they shouldn't assist South Koreans and questions whether Wan has feelings for her. Wan explains that helping Yeon will gain favor with her brother, Yoon Yoo-jun, and strengthen their cover. Hae-jin saves her and, to prevent the boss from firing her, they blackmail the man with an embarrassing video. The next day, while Hae-jin, Wan, and Hae-rang are talking, a liquor supplier threatens Sunim. Wan steps in without breaking character to protect her, but ends up getting beaten badly. When Do-suk hears about it, he confronts the thugs, with Wan and Hae-jin secretly following him. Without revealing his identity, Hae-jin beats up the goons, and later, Wan comforts the badly injured Do-suk. The next day, Sunim celebrates Do-suk's lesson to the goons by throwing a chicken soup party. North Korean agents are enjoying the South Korean cuisine and people at the gathering. Returning to North Korea, Lee worries that he will be exposed for running a covert army without the leader Kim Jong-un's knowledge. Kim Jong-un is reportedly thinking about reunifying with South Korea, and sleeper operatives may put that strategy in jeopardy. Lee thus gives the order for all active spies to commit death. North Korean spies across South Korea comply one by one. Hae-jin is determined to follow the order, but Wan insists on consulting the unit's chief trainer first. However, Hae-jin views this as mutiny and points a gun at Wan. Hae-rang intervenes, reasoning that there's no point in them dying when they could simply disappear. Angry, Hae-jin calls them traitors and threatens to kill them. Wan, ready to grant his wish, asks Hae-jin to shoot him, but Hae-jin can't bring himself to do it and leaves in shame. Meanwhile, Seo is disturbed by the young North Korean spies committing suicide and brings it up with his superiors. They brush him off, focusing solely on Korean reunification, even if it means ignoring certain actions. Hae-jin soon realizes he's being followed and confronts his stalkers. Wan, approached by Seo, is asked to defect and help save the remaining spies. When Wan refuses, the chief pulls a gun on him, but Hae-jin arrives, forcing the chief to flee. Hae-jin chases him, while Wan is distracted by Seo, who confesses that he escaped while being sent to North Korea. He asks Wan for protection. At the same time, the niche chief arrests Hae-jin and discovers a hidden tracking device under his skin. Meanwhile, Kim Tae-wan, an instructor from Unit 5446, crosses the border to eliminate those who disobey orders. Wan later finds Hae-jin's blood on the ground and, fearing the worst, decides to stop following orders. He cuts his hair short, dropping his act, shocking the townspeople, except for Sunim, who seems unsurprised. Wan informs her that he's leaving, and she cooks him a farewell meal. Before departing, Wan gives Ron the address of her son, urging her to visit him. Wan and Hae-rang then team up to take down a South Korean agent. Using the agent's earpiece, Wan contacts the chief, asking him to protect Hae-jin. But the chief instead asks Wan to surrender, revealing the GPS tracker and Kim Tae-wan's involvement. When Hae-jin learns of his captain's danger, he agrees to defect and work with Anish. Using the tracking device, Wan and Hae-rang lure Kim Tae-wan to an abandoned building. Wan confronts Kim about whether the North Korean government has been caring for his mother, but Kim's silence tells him everything. A fierce fight ensues. Two rowdy children from the town stumble upon the scene, and Kim's men try to shoot them, but Hae-rang runs one over with a car and escapes with Wan and the kids. Kim chases them, but the police, led by the chief, arrive and force Kim to flee. After safely returning the children, Wan and Hae-rang head to the secret hideout where they had hidden Seo. However, they discover that Seo is actually a professor of philosophy from Kim Il-sung University. Seo, who had opposed the creation of Unit 5446, believed the spies would eventually betray their country. He was sent to South Korea by Kim to prove his theory. Seo then orders his men to attack Wan and Hae-rang, but they manage to defeat them. For a brief moment, Wan questions whether he's doing the right thing by betraying a country that he thought was taking care of his mother. However, Seo reveals that the families of Unit 5446 members were imprisoned when the soldiers joined, and Wan's mother was likely executed after he became irrelevant to the regime. Devastated, Wan kills Seo. Suddenly, snipers begin firing, and Wan and Hae-rang are forced to flee. Meanwhile, Kim and the niche team arrive outside the building. The niche comes under attack from snipers, but Hae-jin manages to escape and take down all the North Korean snipers. Afterward, he pleads with the chief to help save Wan. The chief and the police attempt to move forward, but their path is destroyed by Kim's men. Later, a bloody confrontation breaks out on the rooftop between Wan, Hae-rang, Kim, and his men. Kim battles Wan and Hae-rang by himself after all of his troops have been slaughtered. Hae-jin shows up with the cops and shoots Kim from behind as Kim is about to kill one of them. Hae-rang sacrifices himself by jumping from the building with Kim and the bomb, which detonates in mid-air, while Kim struggles to stay alive and pulls out a bomb. Hae-jin then stops the police from arresting Won and urges him to run, but Won, devastated by the loss of his mother, hesitates. At that moment, he finds a bank passbook in his pocket that had been left by Sunim. It turns out she had been saving money for Won's wedding and had even registered him as her second son. Overcome with emotion, Won breaks down in tears. The chief demands that Hae-jin surrender, but instead, Hae-jin opens fire on the police, forcing them to retaliate by shooting him. Won cradles Hae-jin in his arms, and both are caught in the crossfire. In the end, they seemingly fall to their deaths. This was all for today movie recap. I hope that you enjoyed. Please subscribe to my channel and wait for more movies.